Hi, this is Ken Womack, and you're listening to the Two Legs Podcast, your home away from home when it comes to all of your Paul McCartney needs.
Everybody, and welcome to episode 262 of Two Legs, a Paul McCartney podcast. We are a Paul McCartney talk show mainly dealing with the solo career of Paul McCartney. I'm one of your two co-hosts, Tom Hunyadi. You may know me from my other show, Talk More Talk, is Solo Beatles, a video cast. But here it's Two Legs, right? It's Paul McCartney, it's Tom Hunyadi, and I'm joined with my partner in crime, my backwards traveler. He is Andy Nichols. Andy, my friend, another week, another episode, more fun.
More fun, yep, more fun, and a different one today, and happy to be back, and let's go Mets. Let's go Mets, baby. But yes, Darren DeVivo,
Okay.
if you're listening, I know you'll appreciate that. He's not, but it's okay. But yeah, doing good and rolling on to do a topic today that we've talked about songs that we may not like, but now we're gonna talk about things that we don't like with Paul, which is very rare for us here on this show.
It is very rare because we normally try to keep things positive, and I think we do a pretty good job of that. But I think it's time that we just talk about songs we just don't like. Whether you want to say they're our least favorites, I don't really want to say hate, but I mean, maybe if you want to go out there and say you hate these songs, that's fine. But these are our least favorite songs in his canon. Look, every musician, every band, they have songs that people don't like, and it's no exception for Sir Paul.
Not at all. But we'll want to just crack out some news real quick. The tour rolls on.
Tour rolls on.
He's in South America. That's going on pretty good. Also announced this past week, Beatle-related, Beetle 64.
Beetle 64.
A new documentary directed by Martin Scorsese, dropping on Disney Plus Thanksgiving weekend. Shades of Get Back in 2021, all over again,
Here
right,
we go
buddy?
again. They love November, right? They love Thanksgiving weekend. I mean, we had that anthology.
We had anthology in November.
Anthology, right.
Yeah.
And Get Back, I should say. So yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, I haven't even read the press release or anything like that, so I'm trying to stay away from it. I don't even want to know what it is. I just want to watch it and get it from there. So I'm just gonna.
You don't want to watch any you don't want to listen to any pre-hype or nothing. Just watch it.
No
right?
pre-hype. No trailers. I don't want to know what how involved Scorsese was, or if this was from the first U.S. visit footage and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't want to know.
You just want to watch it when it drops,
and then I'll get all the info I need to know. So
good approach. I wholeheartedly agree with you, because there's just so much out there and hype and everything. You just want to file it, wait for it, drop it, and then you'll go into it. You know?
Absolutely. But we also got more releases on the way.
Oh God! Just as we received our first 5. And as of this recording date, Tom hasn't gotten his yet, but by the time this is, he will have gotten them. We just said, yeah, we were a little late to the game on that. We got them. As soon as we got them, 5 more are coming out in December.
5 more.
And the next 5 are Venus and Mars, Speed of Sound, Wings Over America, Thrillington, and Wings Greatest. Yes, folks, you heard that right. No London Town, no Back to the Egg. And I don't think you're going to get them, because they skipped over London Town because Wings Greatest is included in this batch.
That's right. If you look at it, the order is wrong. I mean, this batch, I guess, should have ended with London Town, and then the next batch perhaps open with Wings Greatest, right? And then into Back to the Egg, McCartney 2 and then and Tug of War and Pipes of Peace, if they're going to go 5 each time around. Does he hate these 2 records? I want to know. Does he not want anything to do with these 2 albums? I mean, because there can't be any legal issues with London Town, right? I
None.
mean, maybe the legal issues with Rockestra or whatever the hell it's called. But
I can't see that. I really can't see that.
yeah,
And I
there's
quote
nothing.
Thomas Hunyadi at
Yeah,
11:54 a.m. today.
uh,
I will either laugh my ass off or my head will explode if they pass on London Town and Back to the Egg and go to McCartney 2.
right,
Fact. In a text said to me and
right,
David. And he's right. How do you skip? These are just SHM releases from
right,
Japan. Mini replicas,
right.
LPs, improved sound quality sonically, and you're going to skip over these two again? Maybe somebody on the team hates them.
Yeah, I don't understand. But either way, these are being out. They're coming out. You don't have to buy them. They're in print, so other people that don't have them can get them if they want. If they want. But obviously, for us collectors, we're gonna get them as well. But I'm really looking forward to listening to them. We're gonna do a little show and tell with the first five
Yeah.
here in the not so
As
distant
soon as he
future.
gets them.
So as soon as I get them, and I'll tell the story about that too because that really irks me. as
Oh, say what? We'll
well.
save that for the show and
Yeah,
tell bit.
yeah, exactly. We'll save that for the show and tell bit. But anyways, no, I'm excited. I'm excited that these are out. I mean, again, they're on Paul McCartney's website. They're on You Discover. You were passing around a code where you can get 30% off on them, and that's how I got them. So it's great. With this new batch, I did a firm on McCartney's website. So I'll have them when
Oh,
when
so
they
you're not
come
going to
out.
wait for the? You're not going to wait. You pre-ordered them now. You didn't wait for
Yeah,
the
right.
discount code and all that stuff from Universal.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Because I think
I just did it and got it over with. Yeah.
there you go. December
Something like yeah.
16th or something
Don't
like that.
remember. Right.
So
Right. Mid month.
yeah, big month and more releases. But I get, and we're going to talk about this in a special little kind of bonus episode where we kind of just show them all and talk about them, things that we like that we hear differently on them. So we'll save that for that time. Other than that,
Right.
the news item is pretty much dry. Other than that, in the camp. So let's get to it.
Well, let's get to it. So again, I mean, we could do a series on this. Obviously, there probably could be more than 10 songs. I know I wrote 20 songs at first, and I just dwindled it down
20.
to 10. Yeah, yeah. There's 20. I mean,
Ooh.
there could even be 30. There could be 40. But there are more songs.
Let's not go crazy.
All right, all right. But anyways, there are songs plenty of songs of Paul's that I'm not the biggest fan of. But we're gonna do our 10 right now, and let us know in the comments section. What's your 10 there? But I'll go first.
You go first. We didn't really rank these because we both we have our choices and we can't rank the order of what we hate more. So we're gonna just spit them out. It's not like, oh, my number 10 is this and then your number 10 is that. It's not like the best of when it gets really, really hard.
Right.
These songs all suck. So take your pick. Maybe some of them suck a little bit less, but we're not fans of them, and there's no rank. So if you want to rank them, go ahead and rank them and tell us. But we didn't do that with this. So go ahead. What was your first choice there? And we'll just do it that way.
Okay, well, we're gonna go to Off the Ground. All right, we're just gonna get Off the Ground out of the way. And it's one of the two. I've got two songs that have the word peace in it, unfortunately.
I know the other one.
No, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But either way, this is Peace in the Neighborhood. Okay, I just do not like this. And I don't think it's bad arrangement wise. Musically, I think it's fine. It's lyrically where I had the biggest problem with it. Really, because the best thing I ever saw was a man who loved his wife. In a place where things were good, I felt peace in the neighborhood. Okay, but then later on he goes, then I woke up from my dream to see things that are people are struggling to. You don't have to wake up from a dream to know that a man loves his wife. I don't like this song lyrically at all. I mean, I love peace. I want there to be peace in the neighborhood. I want people to help their friends or whatever. But this song just does absolutely nothing for me lyrically, and I just don't think that musicians should do things like this. No, I mean, I shouldn't say that, but musicians can do whatever they want. But
it doesn't
I think
resonate
this is
with
a
you.
lame song. It's just a lame song. It doesn't.
It's
at all.
okay, and it's not one of my
Yeah.
favorites on that album either. But it doesn't resonate with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not one of those go-to tracks. So, Peace in the Neighborhood.
Right.
I'm not
Yeah.
surprised.
Peace in the Neighborhood. I do not care for.
All right. I wrote 1 through 10, but I'm just going to go in a random order here. We're going to go to Flaming Pie. We're going to go with Really Love You. God, I hate that song. I really love you. Boom, boom, boom. Like a bird needs a ring. It's a duet with Ringo, so it's like, oh, but it's Paul. Song sucks. It brings down Flaming Pie. That song's got to go. I don't like Really Love You. I've always thought that weighs Flaming Pie down, which is a classic album. And then you go to that song, really? You've got Calico Skies and then Beautiful Night, and in between you're going to go with this song, Really Love You? Terrible, terrible song. I don't like it. I like the fact that Paul and Ringo are on it together, but damn, it's just not. That's a B-side song or an outtake, and he put it on an iconic album. Don't like it. Cross it off.
So my number 8 is here. You have a trio of great musicians, right? Or my 9 or whatever. You got a great musicians of a trio of great musicians, and this is like the third time that he's had this like trio of great musicians. We'll start off with like with Angry, and then you've got well, not Angry, but you got Hey Hey. Okay, it was a trio of great musicians. Terrible song. Then you got
Yes.
Then you got Angry, trio of great musicians. Terrible song. And then Really Love You. You got this trio of 3 great musicians, and it's terrible. It's the god awful. It just ruins a near perfect album. Really Love You is on my list at number 9.
How many times are we going to match up today? That's we matched up. Okay.
Yeah, we matched up here, but yeah, Really Love You is it's just the bad lyrics, and he'll do this too. He did that on the special where he's just, and he's just goofing around on the bass. He's talking about
bird
working with
needs
Ringo.
a break. What
like
are you talking about?
What are you sucking about? Right.
He says it. He admits it. He admitted
it's terrible.
it. When you're watching The World
terrible.
Tonight, he's got the Bill
Right.
Black bass and he's doing the bass bit. I really love you. Yeah. Drop it on a plate. What?
Yes. What? And musically, it's not that great too. I mean, you got Jeff Lynne, who is a decent guitar player, right? I mean, he does have some great guitar riffs and solos on his ELO song, and do 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 do. I mean, it's so lame, so lame.
Tis.
Yes.
Oh,
Right,
really
you're
love
9.
you. Oh, we agree on that. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one. Ooh. Miriam was full. Gratitude, gratitude. Oh God, that makes me hurl when I hear that. When I hear him singing gratitude. Some good playing on that song, Gratitude. And later in the song, he sings. He really does do a good job vocally on it. But damn, the beginning of that song is just god awful.
Right.
Gratitude, gratitude. You're like, oh God, when is this? When is this going to end? Torturous. And I mean, the song itself, when he goes into the song properly, it's great. I'm so thankful for everything you've ever given me. Blah, blah, blah,
Right.
and builds up and it builds up and it builds up. And it's a halfway decent song. But it is ruined by the first 30 seconds with that, noise, loudness war, brick walled, gratitude, garbage.
Right.
So Gratitude is another one. Off.
Yeah,
Skip.
I agree. I don't think I hate it as much as you do, but it definitely is not on it's not on my list, but it could be in a future episode. I want to go to New and go to probably my least favorite track from that, and that's Hosanna.
Okay.
Which I remember prior to the album coming out, then Paul giving a little, chat about his album and this upcoming album, being really excited about this new track that he's working on.
Yeah.
And ends up being Hosanna, which I think ends up being a very, just a very dreary song. I'm not the biggest fan of his vocals. I mean, he's got a bad falsetto on part of the song on here. That doesn't necessarily work for me as well. Lyrically, it's just a really dreary song that for me doesn't really fit on New. you look at a lot of these other songs, they're really upbeat,
Yeah,
really
I
positive.
hear what you're
and,
saying, and then here comes this kind of dreary Hosanna type song.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit
So,
the
yeah.
overall vibe of New. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. But it's not clearly one of the standout tracks on New by any means.
Right.
All
Right.
Next one. I think it's one of Tom's favorites actually. So this is he's not gonna like this. Extra track on Flowers in the Dirt CD. Ue es la sole.
Oh, no, it's not one of my favorites.
Oh, I thought it was. Oh,
No,
I thought
not
you
at
liked
all.
that one.
No.
Ue,
no.
the sole,
Yeah.
for 4.5 minutes. Get out of here. And then we got to have like 55 dance remixes of it too? No.
I guess if I was happy about any of those tracks being on digital only or download only, I guess it was those. Because there was from Flowers in the Dirt. Remember where you had to download them or whatever. Like
the archive from 2017.
The archive. Yeah. Right.
Ue es
right.
the sole. It's just a techno thing that kind of just goes and it drones on and on and on and on and on. And thank the gods that it was left off the LP. Because if you,
right.
well,
you couldn't fit it. You couldn't fit it anymore. You couldn't fit it.
Not then.
After the 20 minutes of Motor of Love,
powerful
get that on
motor,
there.
strong as an ocean, on and on and on and on and on and on and on, and it never ends, right? Tom loves it. He loves Motor of Love, people. So yeah, Ue es the sole, crapola.
It is.
Gone.
It is. And you know what? And he also did something similar, like with Party Party, which I think is a lot better than Ula Soleil. You're just saying the same things over and over again, really.
Pretty much.
There's just nothing to it. Yeah, and I think you're right. I mean, it's just more of like a techno, dance club type. Type thing.
What am I going out to? Like a night out of the club, like clubbing on that song or something? Get out of here.
Well, he was still a young man right there, right? I mean, he could still go out clubbing, right?
Man, he was like 48.
Maybe.
Go.
I don't know. All right, listen, so this is gonna piss you off.
Oh, here we go.
And I didn't even listen. I didn't even listen to it. I listened to it like a couple weeks ago when we decided we were gonna do this topic. I did listen to it once just to confirm that I still don't like it. Okay,
before you say it,
it's old.
I was gonna ask you.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask you.
It's ode to a koala bear. Okay, I just don't like the arrangement. I don't like the singing. I just don't like anything about this track. It is.
Why?
But go ahead.
Why?
No, again, I just don't like his singing of it.
Okay.
The lyrics. Oh no, I just don't like the way the song flows.
A lot of people think that's a little bit of a take on "You Really Got a Hold on Me."
Maybe. Well, then maybe he should have been sued. Well, then maybe he should have been sued. Copyright infringement. I don't know.
So you don't like the arrangement. What else?
No, I don't. I don't like the way he sings the song. I think it's a lame subject for a song. Okay, I mean, all right, you got on Saturday Night Live and he said, hey, those koala bears his favorite animal. Okay, great. That don't mean you got to do a stinking song.
He left it for a B. He didn't put it on an album, bro. It's a B-side.
Very wisely.
Okay. So that is what the definition of a B-side is. The inferior song goes on side B.
But that doesn't mean that doesn't necessarily mean Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney does not do inferior B-sides.
No.
Okay?
Hell no, he doesn't.
Okay.
And we know
How
that.
many times have we argued that a non-album B-side should have been on an album for Paul McCartney?
But in that case,
yes,
maybe it's a true B-side.
He got it right here. Right? Okay. Maybe he got it right with that song and put it on the B-side.
Listen, I get the hate for that. It could be schmaltzy. It's just sweet, and I think I like Linda's contribution to that song as much as Paul's. That's where I think the song shines because you hear the backing vocals.
Okay,
and that's
right.
That's it.
So let's okay. So this is Pipes of Peacetime. Let's say that it's not on is there. Let's say it's not on is finished. Okay, which the song that we discovered on the Pipes of Peace archive.
Sure.
Set. Okay, that is what should have. I mean, that could. I mean, imagine that as the B-side of Say Say Say, not Ode to a
Ooh.
frickin' koala bear.
Okay,
You know?
okay. Point taken. Good point. You got it. That's a good point. You throw It's Not on the B side of
Right.
Say Say Say, and that is one hell of a single.
Yes.
It is. Wow.
Yeah.
And it sits for nearly 40 years, and then when it comes out, unbelievable.
Right.
Next one. Tom mentioned it a few songs ago in a part of his conversation about with the three musician thing, and I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to go to Angry from freaking Press to Play.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
That song
I don't blame you.
sucks.
Listen, and this could be part 2 for me because I was literally going to put all 3 of the trio.
The trio. Phil Collins and Paul McCartney, and they come up with a song. Why the hell you did it tonight? Skip. That song sucks.
It does. I mean, Pete Townsend, Paul McCartney,
and Phil Collins, who
Phil
are
Collins.
like 3 of like the messiahs in my freaking house. Okay, Phil, Pete, and Paul, with Paul holding the strings. 3 awesome guys. And that's what they come up with?
That's a good point. I just realized how much of a Who and Genesis fan you are, too.
Yes.
And right, and you got these 3 great, that you love to death, and then here they are just crapping out a song.
Yeah. Yeah. That riff that goes onto it goes nowhere. I mean, that just goes to show you, if you put 3 amazing people in a room, it's not gonna, it's not always gonna work out. And that song is absolutely. You want to talk about the nadir of rock, which is what they tried to call Ram in 1971. That's nadir. That song is absolute crap. So I'm curious. I think you probably have it in your list. Go on.
Angry?
Yeah.
No, I was, like I said, I was thinking about adding it, but
got it.
Yeah, but I didn't.
All right.
Next. But my six is we talked about this with Dino as a possible reason why maybe Driving Rain isn't well received, and it's the song that the album got pushed back for, and it's to put on the album or the CD or whatever, and that's the Freedom. Now, yeah, great statement. Now listen, we talked about this too. When he performed that song, I mean, people were into it. Right? I mean, you just see people just go, and just really get into it. It is a lame song, though. I mean, I do tend to like Eric Clapton's solo at the end.
His solo on it is good.
But that's the best thing about the song. I mean, and obviously, when you watch the documentary, right, you can see, Paul talking to Eric about it, and he's just like, yeah, kind of like whatever, But lyrically, I think it's terrible. He could have done better. Obviously, he wanted to do something to lift our spirits and all that. I get that, okay, but there are times where he rushes out a song, and there's times, and sometimes it's good, but a lot of times I think it's crap when he just rushes out a song, for a special occasion, for this, and it just doesn't turn out good.
Yeah, but I think leaving it within the confines of the Concert for New York City, like as a one and done, alone, play it there and
point. Yes.
Let it be,
yes,
pun intended, and leave it there. Don't release it as a proper single. Then I think that, hey, you remember when Paul McCartney did that one song called Freedom, and it never came out, and he just played it at the Concert in New York. It gets tacked on the end of an album, and it kind of sags it a little bit. It sags an album that was that's not already been.
That was already long enough.
Right, and you tack that onto it. Maybe just leaving it, and or just releasing it as the standalone single, which he did, which I would have been fine with. Not jamming it into the album is where it really. I mean, I don't fault Paul for writing that song because
I don't.
And you watch those people's faces in that Madison Square Garden that night; they absolutely loved that song. So, 23 years hindsight, it's hard to say. Well, yeah, it wasn't a great song, but at the time, everybody loved that song. So it has its place, and it has its place in history. So I don't think you can ignore it. It's just not. You're saying it's just not a good song, and it's not.
I don't think it is a good song. But like you said, in the context of the show and what it was for, yeah. I mean, I can see people, I probably would have been right there along singing with all, the
Right.
firemen and the police officers that were all the first responders right there into it. But if you're just listening to it at the end of an album that came out, a
Right.
couple months later,
Horrible. Not really
it's a
good. And
dud.
I
It's a
get it,
dud.
buddy. I totally understand your choice and why you
Yeah.
have it. It's just a tough one to classify because it's tied to 9/11. I get
Yeah,
it.
right. Yeah.
Okay, next up, another one. Okay, it's on Pipes of Peace, which is a record I like, but this song is another one. Absolute crap. Tug of Peace. Tug of Peace. No, your troubles cease when you learn to play the Pipes of Peace in this quasi-rap thing when hearkening back to Tug of War. I mean, really? That is... You're trying to bookend 2 albums, Tug of War, Pipes of Peace, and you throw that thing on there, and you bury it at the end of side B. Not a good song at all. And again, you've got these great musicians working on a track, and they come up with Tug of Peace. Stanley Clarke and Steve Gadd and Paul McCartney, and you come up with Tug of Peace. Ooh, God. That's now, I wasn't sure if you were going to choose that one, or you're going to choose another song that has the word title Peace in it, which is from a few years after that. We'll see. But Tug of Peace from 1983 and then is just, not good.
Well, since you brought it up, I think I'll just go out and say, yeah, it is Tug of Peace.
Piggyback.
Tug of Peace is Tug of Peace is on my least favorite McCartney songs of all time list. It's a bad. I don't like the bad dramatic sound effects that that go into the song. I think that's terrible. And the drums sound like it sounds like a drum machine. It doesn't sound like Steve Gadd at all. But the pushing and pulling bit that's in there, because I hate that enough.
But you don't like
Tug
that
of
in Tug of
War.
War anyway.
I don't like that in Tug of War, and it's even worse in this.
It is.
It's worse in this. This is just a crap song. I can't believe this is like the second to last song, right?
Yeah,
Just
before
Through Our Love,
the epic closer with Through Our Love.
Yeah. And thank God he didn't put this as the closer.
Oh my God. Could you imagine this if he closes the album with this? I mean, then the tomatoes would have been warranted. But he had a couple of duds there on Pipes of Peace, and this was one of them.
He did have to. It is very. It sucks. This really does suck. And I say that trying to be as a positive person, but this song is just god awful.
And while we're on Pipes of Peace, I'm going to go with my next choice because it's also on Pipes of Peace, and it's called Hey Hey. Oh my God, Hey Hey. Now it's got a pretty cool funky riff. I will admit that.
Right.
The
middle part I do kind of enjoy.
Oh, that little
when it kind of slows down. Yeah.
It sounds like you're a contestant walking onto a game show music.
Right. Exactly.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like contestant game show music when it finally does break down, and it's like, ooh,
right,
okay, Vanna, turn the vowel, hit it, RSTL and an E, go.
Right.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. I did consider putting Hey Hey on this list as well.
You didn't?
No, but I didn't. I mean, maybe if we do this again in a future episode, maybe I would put it on my list. But again, it's just
Hey Hey, oh God, oof, not good. What do you got?
Yeah. All right, so this is the first of 2 covers that I've got on my list. This is from a 2011 tribute to Buddy Holly called Rave On. And Paul does a cover of It's So Easy. And let me tell you something, it's Buddy Holly's version is 2 minutes 13, okay? This is over 4 minutes long, and it is just loud, obnoxious McCartney doing this for a cover that should he just the way he arranges this it's just terrible. Again, there's bad backing vocals. I don't know. I think it's him and the tour band doing this.
Yep.
And again, this was Rave On. I think he licensed this out. I mean, he owns the Buddy Holly
owns
catalog.
it.
So
he owns it. So
yeah. But for him to do this cover, if you haven't heard it, you can go to you can go to YouTube and you can just type in "It's So Easy" Paul McCartney, and you might even have the CD. I have it, and but it's when I bought the CD, I'm going, oh, he's doing the cover. It's so easy, great. I stuck it in the CD player, went to it, and I thought this was probably the worst thing he could have done, and the worst thing he could have done to an artist that he admires, loves, and owns the catalog too. I think this was very disrespectful cover. But again, he's Paul McCartney. He can do whatever he wants with what he owns, and because 9 times out of 10 he'll knock it out of the park, right? Okay.
Sure.
This is the one strikeout that he did.
He
Well,
did.
I got another strikeout too here, but
Oh boy! But I'm
yeah.
surprised that was a non-album track that made your top 10 worst. For it to put on a cover.
Yeah.
On a cover, I don't mind it. I think I've only heard it once or twice.
Right.
I didn't. I knew
Yeah.
it was longer, but I wasn't too offended by it. I thought it was okay.
Oh
but,
yeah.
But it's
this
not.
is like
It's
actually,
honestly not that memorable though, because I think I've only listened to it twice.
No.
So it's
Right.
maybe twice. So it's not that memorable.
No, it's terrible. Terrible in my opinion.
Yeah. Again, now we're getting to the heavy hitters, and we're going to go back now to an album Tom talked about just a few albums ago, and that's Driving Rain, okay? And that is Spinning on an Axis from Driving Rain. That song, I since November of 2001, I hated that song. It didn't have a hope. It didn't have a chance. From the first play of the spin of the CD, I hated it. I watched the sun go down with some sorrow. Never know we're going to come back tomorrow. Spinning on Axis. What? Cringe times 1,000. Times 1,000. Song sucks.
Spinning on an axis. Yeah, it's not a favorite of mine. I mean, if I'm in the right mood, I can kind of get into it a little bit, but Spinning on Axis is never
After how many drinks?
a favorite. Yeah. Good on at the bar, you get in your car, if it's the CD's playing and that song happens to come on,
Right up and sing
along.
Right up and sing.
Yeah,
no,
maybe
don't sing
along
anymore
with
on
it.
that song.
Yeah.
Stop. So,
but Spinning on Axis is yeah, I can see why people would have that on their least favorite list. Absolutely.
3 left. Go, buddy.
Motor Love ends what could have been a later day, a return to glory, whatever. I think Motor Love destroys a near perfect album for me. We talked about that how long. I think it's over 6 minutes. I know that he loves, or he was inspired by the song "Drive" by the Cars, but not only that, but you also have moments of the song "I'm Not in Love" by 10cc in this
Right.
song as well. And if you're familiar with both songs, I think you'll know what I'm talking about. Just, put on the headphones, listen to Motor Love, and you'll pick up the bits that remind you of "I'm Not in Love" from 10cc.
Oh, for sure.
But lyrically, I think it's not that great. And the stuff like the Heavenly Father stuff, and I mean that doesn't bother me or anything like that. It's just the presentation. There's certain styles that I don't think work with Paul, and I think this is a kind of style that doesn't.
The adult. This is the adult contemporary.
Yeah, adult contemporary.
This
correct.
is the adult.
Yes,
This is Macca doing the adult contemporary stuff, and if you like it, great. If you don't, like
Right.
Tom, you don't. I don't love it. I don't hate it, but I don't mind it as a closer. But it's something that, like I said, a song like "Drive" by the Cars works really well.
Yeah, right.
This one, "Motor of Love," it's kind of 50-50. I mean, the demo is much more charming than the finished song. The demo, which you got on the archive, is shorter, but it's a charming little thing, 50 seconds or a minute. And it's raw, and it's just he's just sitting there at a keyboard hammering it out, and then it goes into it. But it's like that David Foster type sound all over again is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's a point in time like a Neil Diamond type adult contemporary at that time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work for me, unfortunately. I mean,
guy
he's
I
done
knew-
better stuff like this, but go ahead. What?
A guy I knew back in the day, in the AOL days, he told me he used that as his wedding song. It was his
Really?
wedding song. Well, it was a back in the AOL Beetle chat forum days. I remember him saying he used "Motor of Love" for his wedding song, which I was kind of impressed with. I'm like, whoa, see. Tom's like, what? I would have never
What?
picked that.
Never would have picked that. But yeah, Motor of Love. If you're out there, you like it, great. But yeah, not for me.
The only reason why I like it as a closer is because it fades the album out nicely on the vinyl. It just comes to a nice flow, slow, maybe too long of a finish because the song goes on and on and on for 6.5 minutes and it's long.
Yeah, but it doesn't go anywhere though. I mean, it's not
No.
like A Beautiful Night, where you just get this big bombastic kind of like
finish. You get it.
Finish.
Right.
You're right. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't go anywhere like A Beautiful Night does, or Through Our Love, or I think it's a terrible closer, and actually.
It's okay. I think the better closer would have been That Day Is Done. That would have been the better closer.
Perhaps, yeah. I think you could be right. Yeah.
With That Day Is Done, but hey, it's a song. You've been on a public record of that song for years with it, so I get it. I get why you're like Motor of Love. No, I get it. All right, and the hits just keep on coming, as they said on CBS FM back in the day. Top 3. Number 3, and then I could switch these around anyway because they all are of equal shittiness. And we're gonna go to one of my favorite albums of all time, but it's on there, and that's Loop, First Indian on the Moon.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
Garbage. Paul trying to do Floyd, and it doesn't work out. For 4.5 minutes, and like it stops, and it's just trippy. It's Paul trying to be Floyd, and it doesn't work out, and it ruins ever so slightly a masterful album of all time. By putting that on track 8 before one of the best closers of all time. You've got Loop, First Indian on the Moon, instrumental, and it is instrumental. I know there's humming in it. I don't like it. I've never liked it. I've never liked it from day one. I thought it cheapens. It really, really brings down Red Rose Speedway ever so slightly because all the other 8 tracks are home runs. Tom, what are you going to say?
I have come to like it a little bit. I've come to like it. I don't hate it like I used to. I remember the first time hearing Red Rose Speedway, the first few times I spinned it, and I played it and then I would skip it. I mean, ever since last 10, 15 years or so, I would say I've come to more accept it, and don't mind it as much as obviously you can't stand it, but yeah, I think it's all right. I think it's
okay. You could, in the context of the album, you're okay with it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, if you were just gonna say, "Hey, look and check this out," you
wouldn't do that.
No, check out this deep cut from McCartney. And that's the thing too, is just like I thought, okay, well, should there be any like guidelines or anything like this for like no, if it's McCartney's name's on it, everything is fair game. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Whether it was a cover or instrumental, deep cut or a classical or experimental, if his name is on it, it's up for I mean, it's up, you don't like it, you don't like it.
That's it, man.
So
that's it.
All right.
What do you got?
All right. Number 2, it's a song that he did a lot of covers on this album, right? Okay, and I think this is the worst. All the other ones are almost spot on to the original, and why he ruined this song, in my opinion, he ruined The Long and Winding Road.
Oh, on Broad Street.
On Broad Street, adding the sax. That opening sax bit I think is terrible. Then there's the solo sax on there. It's a shame that our friend Dave Maddox, that we've had on the show, is doing drums on that track. And it's a shame that he's on it because he's I don't think this is good. I don't mind the singing of it. It's the arrangement. I think he just ruined. I think this is worse. If he's mad at what's his name for ruining the Let It Be version,
Phil Spector.
Phil Spector. I'm mad at him for ruining the ruined.
Yeah, but that's a song that he had such problems with over the years, and he hated that it got out of his hand and out of his control, and somebody else messed with it.
Then you do it the way you wanted it. You do it the way you intended it to be. You don't add
But it was
saxophones,
brother. But it was the '80s. It was the '80s.
I
So
understand that. Trust me, I understand that.
You're an
but
'80s guy.
yeah, and believe me when I tell you that I love the sax on '80 songs. I love saxophone on '80 songs. There's a billion great sax solos on '80 songs that I just adore. Paul McCartney has my top 2 songs that he uses a saxophone on that I cannot stand, and this is one of them.
I'm sure you're going to get people to agree with you. I'm sure, especially. So I get it. I can kind of overlook it because it's in the film. In the context of the film, okay, it's just Paul doing an '80s version of Long and Winding Road. Okay, but that sax does kind of shoot out at you in the ears when you hear it, and you're like, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah. And then also, okay, so then you said like he's just doing an '80s. Well, why didn't he do like an '80s version of Yesterday or '80s version of? No, those are more real, more true to the original.
I see what you're saying. Just play the song. You know, if you want to play the song, just play it faithfully. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, all the other covers I think were got
close.
No, I'm sorry. Good Day Sunshine, where it was closer to the here, there, and everywhere. Even though
here, there, today, here, there, and everywhere, and yesterday were pretty much faithful. Yeah. Good Day Sunshine on Broad Street had a little bit of tweaking to it.
A little bit, but I mean, it's
still pretty much
damn close to. It wasn't as a dramatic change as Long and Winding Road was.
No. All right,
I mean, this is Las Vegas. This is like him in Las Vegas doing his lounge lizard.
It is
type thing.
Listen, 40 years ago this month, that's what he was up to. It's what he was doing.
Yeah.
Yep. 2 left.
All right.
And they're early songs from early albums. Nothing late. Nothing from the 2000s. Nothing from the 90s or the 80s. But we're going early for these top 2 worst songs. Okay. And again, all the ones I mentioned tonight, put them in a hat. Pick them out. I dislike them all equally the same. So second to last, Bip Bop from Wildlife. Bip Bop, Bip Bop, Bip Bop, Bip Bop, Bam. Crap. Now the live version that we got on Live Over Europe actually isn't half bad because it's a really high quality recording and his vocals are like really good and the band's pretty tight.
Right.
But on the album is absolutely just horrible. You've got Mumbo, which is okay, opens up Wildlife, which is a nice, loose jam.
Take it, Tony.
Mumbo, okay. And we go into Bip Bop, and you're like, what the F am I listening to? And then you get into Love is Strange, and then you get into Wildlife, and some people never, and then and everything else. And then it kind of redeems itself. But Bip Bop, oof, not good. And I know Bip Bop, Hey Diddle, these were songs that were recorded on the farm when the kids were little, and it was more of like a song to play to the kids when the kids were little. But God, it's kind of just stuck out like a sore thumb ever since I discovered it, probably there in the early '90s.
Yeah, even though I do really like this out, even though I really do love Wildlife, even with its problems, this song, I do tend to not care for. It didn't make this list. But I definitely feel you on that, and it's just like, okay, you've got this new band, and we're just gonna now just record songs that I was just playing on the farm while the kids were dancing, around,
Right?
No, come on,
and then leave out things like Mama's Little Girl.
Yeah, right.
So that's it. What do you got?
All right. This is going to make our friend Harry Benson really happy, but it's twice in a lifetime, okay?
More saxophone. Forget more cowbell.
Saxophone.
More saxophone. More saxophone, they said. And Paul
more 80s sax from Paul that just did not work in my opinion. I don't. Maybe it's because I just haven't seen the movie. I've never seen Twice in a Lifetime movie, and I don't know if I dared to see it. But I mean, I would if I can find it. And But again, I mean, again, the sax, he's got these, parts of the song where he's elongating the notes, just like I don't, want, and he's just kind of like,
Step on anybody's
extend, yeah,
toes.
anybody's toes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So again, lyrically, I don't think it's great. Musically, I don't think it's great. He sings it fine. I mean, listen, he's a top form vocalist, and the singing's fine. It's just, again, I just have a problem with the way he uses the saxophone and the arrangement of this particular song. And lyrically, let's admit, I mean, lyrically, it's not that great either.
No, I think he does have. I think the vocal's killer on it, though. I do like the vocal on it.
No.
I know,
yeah, I have
it's
no
happening
problem.
to
Right.
me. I know,
Right.
and it goes out. I like that.
Right. And I think maybe the way he extends a few of the notes, I just don't really care for. But it's just in the song that I mean, the first time I heard it to when I heard it earlier today, I listened to it earlier today, and I'm just like, well, why? Thank God it wasn't released as a single.
No.
I think the song would have tanked. Let's say
Oh.
that the Twice in a Lifetime was a
Sure.
hit film. Okay, then let's say they released it as a single. I think this song would have tanked, and tanked hard,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
for sure.
There you go, Harry. That's for you, buddy.
That's for you, Harry Benson. There you go. I hope you're watching, because he likes to drop that one on us a lot. My last one, and I have an honorable mention too. After the 10th one.
Okay.
So I'm sure you have one too.
Sure. Oh, I got
number
10
one.
more.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Number one. But whatever.
Yeah.
First album, Queen of Crore.
You went there. You went there.
Come on, man. Freaking close that album with that horrible song. Crap. And I know you love it. I know you love it.
I do love it, but I will admit it was a terrible song to end the album with. They should Maybe I'm Amazed should have definitely.
You got to end that album with Maybe I'm Amazed.
Right.
And you go into this thing because you watched a documentary about Native Americans running through the jungle or something, and then you get inspired to record it. Record it, release it, put it on side 2 in the middle somewhere, close the album with that. Damn it, that is just I've not liked that. How do you put that song on this record and with that photograph with your baby in your jacket? I get it, but damn.
Well, because they were living very primitively at that point.
They were. They were living in Scotland, and I get it. And the conditions were not, and that was their
living
time
off
away
the
from
land.
everybody, and they were, and I listen. I think it's nice for what it is, but it should not have been on that. It should not have ended McCartney. I could have been.
I will agree with you there. Yeah,
that could have been on Wildlife. It's to me that suits Wildlife more. It goes.
I don't disagree, but I love it.
I know you do. So I got.
All right, what do you got for an honorable mention?
An honorable mention.
I'll give you one. Yeah.
Give me yours first. Give me yours first.
All right. I'll give you one. Vanilla Sky. Which is a song that I did enjoy for a while. But I mean, I've come to really just dislike the song. The song got nothing to do with the film, in my opinion. He calls it Vanilla Sky for no reason. And if you were to, watch this movie and then listen to the song, there's nothing to me that says the film Vanilla Sky in the song.
No.
I mean, Twice in a Lifetime does it better. I mean, I guess if you're going to say, okay, what's the, if a song, fits the film, Twice in a Lifetime, I say, okay, maybe it fits a song, but I have to see the movie first, so I don't know. But again, Vanilla Sky to me has nothing to do. You want the song to kind of like at least fit the film, right?
You would, and that one doesn't. It's a nice. I remember when he played it on the Oscars in 2002. It was nice.
He did, yeah.
And that was nice at the time. But again, kind of like Driving Rain, it kind of just falls by the wayside, and that's one of those tracks that does. I get it. My honorable mention, okay, it's kind of cheating because it's a little bit of a Beatles song, but he put his own spin on it, and that's P.S. Love Me Do.
Dude, there you go.
Oh,
Which again
God.
was on my 20 list too, and I thought, okay, maybe I should add this too. But
Oh,
yeah,
oh, taking P.S. I Love
yeah,
You and Love Me Do and mashing it up and then
yeah,
singing it live.
right,
But I
right,
actually know that there was an ulterior motive for that because those were the songs that he had acquired back that he actually owned after Michael Jackson bought them. He had those two he retained ownership of. So I guess he felt
right.
a closeness to them because he did own them. He did a kind of a wacky version of mashing the two of them together and dancing on stage and P.S. I love you, love me do,
Right.
and then going into it and dancing around, and you're like, whoa, what is going on here?
It's a bad mashup. I mean, I understand why he did it for copyright issues or whatever it was,
Yes. Yep.
but it's a terrible mashup. But um, but that's our 10. In the comment sections, like I said, leave your 10. But Andy, you got something scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Why don't you tell everybody about Buy Me a Coffee, please?
Well, Buy Me a Coffee is a new thing that we started and we signed up for about 2 weeks ago, and it's a completely voluntary thing that we have signed up for. If you like the show and you want to support us, you can. You don't have to. We're not a Patreon. We don't make exclusive content
Right.
for people who donate. It's just if you like to, you can. And with rising costs of stuff, it does help us sustain and keep the podcast going and keep our subscriptions up for what we do and recording and hosting. And we've had some really, really wonderful contributions from
Yes.
people. As late as today, Janet Davis, and what a sweetheart.
Yes. Thank you.
Everybody the success of that has been off the charts. Again, one and done. It doesn't. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to do anything at all. It's just
Right.
there, and it'll sit there, and it'll help us keep our show going and keep our subscriptions going, and be able to do more things and get more things to show. And as we do more and more, we can have this. And thank you, everybody out there that has donated to us on buymeacoffee.com. I've
Right.
actually gone in and said thank you to a few people with a couple of quick videos. The other ones that I haven't, I will. But it's a great thing that we've got. And everybody who has contributed and bought us coffees,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Like you said, and I mean, I've just been blown away by the people that have contributed already, and I really want to thank them thank all those people from the bottom of my heart. You guys have really, really, showed some generosity, and we can't thank you guys enough. So that being said, Andy, anything working with the other leg, or you just quiet right now on your other channel?
Laying low right
Yeah.
now because it's obviously there's going to be a lot of books to read coming out soon, and I am going to go see the Fav Faux in a few weeks, do the White Album in New York City, and that's going to be great because those guys do the whole album start to finish, even
Right.
Revolution 9. So that's in about 3 weeks time. So there's that, and other than that, it's going to be pretty quiet through until we get to December, and then things will heat up dramatically with a trip to Manchester, England. But
Oh boy. Yeah.
with the eye roll,
Yeah, you guys.
what?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. I'm happy for you guys. I'm just like, wow. I can't. I really wish that I could tag along with you guys on this one. But yeah, you guys are gonna have the time of your life. I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear about it.
Thank you, partner. I wish you were coming with us.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to be laying low, doing a lot of reading. Lucas' books came in. We're going to get the McCartney Legacy soon, Volume 2, and there's going to be a lot to read and digest. And really, that's just going to be it through the holidays. And then, here and there, and I'll pop up and do a couple of things maybe. But my channel is, hanging in there. And when I feel like I want to do something, I'll do it.
Yeah. Great.
How about the
Very
Talk
good.
More Talkers?
Yes, Talk More Talkers. We just posted our latest episode this past Monday, and it was about Daytime Revolution, which
Yeah.
is just one of the best documentaries that I have seen on any of the four Beatles. I can't recommend this one enough. This is now available to pre-order on Amazon. Kino Lorber is going to be putting this one out, and Kino does a fantastic job. But it will be, I think it's available on DVD or Blu-ray. I think it's November 26th when it's coming out.
Streaming option, partner, or no?
Probably, I'm sure. I don't really necessarily look for streaming stuff. So I'm a
No, I
more
know.
physical media guy.
You like
You
that's
know.
you.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll have to look into that and let you guys know. But there's that. So check that out. Talk More Talk, a Solos Beatles video cast. I do want to mention my buddy Sam St. John, who did have me on to talk about the ELO concert that we both got to experience. And man, God, what a show, Annie! This was just fantastic show. I'm really bummed that it took me, 3 tours to finally, to finally see him because, when I lived in Arizona, he didn't come to Arizona. But
No.
then I moved away from Arizona, and guess where he was going? He's going to Arizona. That SOB. But yeah, we went to Little Caesars Arena, and this was just a fantastic show. So glad that I finally got to see Jeff Lynne's. I guess you got to call it Jeff Lynne's ELO.
Yeah. I
But
mean, legally, yeah, but yes.
yeah, yeah.
Great
But
show.
the musicianship. I mean,
Top
Jeff was a
notch.
little wobbly at first, but then, I mean, once the show got going, he was fantastic, and he and the band knocked it out of the park. Just great.
I'm glad you had a good time and you
So,
were looking forward to that show for so long, Tom.
yeah, yeah,
I'm happy you got the chance
yeah,
to go with your uncle and you picked up really
yeah.
2 nice shirts, one of which he's wearing right now,
Yep,
and another one
yep.
that he
The other one
wore
I had
on
on Talk More Talk.
Sam on Talk More
Yep,
Talk. He wore it,
yep,
and I'm glad you got a
yeah,
chance to go with your uncle because that's like the guy who
yeah,
who
yeah.
helped you, inspired
Exactly.
you with your music and
Right.
stuff, and you got to experience that with him. So I'm happy you had that
Yeah.
opportunity to see Jeff
Right.
at the
So
end here.
yeah, exactly. And this is it. Over and out. So go check out Sam St. John YouTube channel. Subscribe. He's a great guy. He's very knowledgeable. He loves music, just as much music as we do, and just a really good, fun guy to talk with. And so
Yes,
check it
good
out.
interview.
But yeah, but thank you. So that's gonna do it for this
Oh,
episode
I am still waiting. It's not directly Paul related, but the meditation mixes. I'm waiting for those to arrive.
Oh, you did. That's right. You did order it. That's right.
I did.
And so it's just funny how we influence each other. Oh, you, David, and I, and just how we influence our buying habits. Because there is a story with the SHM CDs that we
We'll
we can
save.
talk about when we do that. It's just funny. He shows a picture of the box. It just came, and then 10 minutes later, it's like, all right, I'm gonna
Boom,
get it.
done. As soon as I saw David got it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get it. So
Right.
I can't wait for you to tell the SHM story with the McCartney stuff because we
Right.
were both like, hard no, hard no, hard no. And then
Right.
I got them, and then you got them.
Right.
Or getting them. But
Right.
that'll be a separate
Yeah.
look for that. We're dropping this episode on the 19th of October. Hopefully sometime this weekend we will get together and drop that little bonus show and tell thing with the SHM. Well, it's only 3 letters. Why is it so hard to say? Super high material, which I only just found out that's what that represented, a few weeks ago. But yes, we'll hopefully look for that at some point after we drop this episode on Saturday, maybe Sunday or maybe early next week.
Yeah,
Coming
probably
for the-
next week might be better. But again, so thank you everybody for listening. Thank you everybody that has contributed to the Buy Me a Coffee. And please don't feel obligated to do it. It's still a free show. It'll always be a free show. But if you feel like you want to, we would really appreciate it. So Andy, great hanging with you again, my friend. Can't wait to do this again. So he's Andy, I'm Tom, and as always, have a great day and a beautiful night. Take care.
You've been listening to Two Legs, a Paul McCartney podcast, hosted by Tom Hunyadi and Andy Nichols, with musical contributions by Dylan Seaver.